Hey guys, it's Spaces Sims, and welcome to our new mini Let's Play. I'm gonna air quotes around mini because it's probably gonna take us forever. Anyway, we're calling it Restless Shadows. I think that's what we're calling it. I haven't made the thumbnail yet. I don't know. Today's been a bad day for me recording because my game wouldn't work and it took me like 4.5 hours to get everything working and we're behind. But anyway, so we're doing this. This is our life and death kind of gameplay. Listen. I get it. The storyline that we're going with, every fucking person and their brother is doing, and it's not like it's anything unique or different or anything like that, and hasn't been done a bazillion times in media everywhere. But it was one of those, like, you're doing it, you're like, yeah, okay, this will be fun, and then you see 30 people, oh my god, I'm totally gonna do this everywhere you look, and you're like, son of a bitch! Because you just feel like, and you're like, I know it's not like it was original or unique, but like, it still sucks. When you see other people are going to do the same thing, but like, whoa, whoa, life and death, what's the first thing you think of? Oh my god, you're going to have your Sims and they're going to be reborn and they're going to find each other in the next life. And that's pretty quintessential. And that's basically what we're doing. Bird, I'm going to need you to shut the fuck up right now. You're annoying the hell out of me. But hi, if you're new here, I swear, we're not family friendly. I have a bird who's a pain in my fucking ass, especially right now. And yeah, I think that's basically the general gist of things. But anyway, so what we are doing is, of course, I like playing with the cults. God damn it, bird, shut up. He's honking like a goose and it's so annoying. He normally just shoves himself under my chin, shuts the hell up, and like naps. But now he's gonna do it. Good. Anyway, um, so yeah, this is unfortunately going to be like what 7 bazillion other people are doing, which did make me sad. But I will tell you that like I was thinking up this idea, figured it out, and again, not anything new or unique because I'm like I'm sure there's tons of books and movies and TV shows and everything that have done the same damn thing that I wasn't really thinking of. In fact, actually, kind of the whole resurrection thing happened in another Atome game I played right after I thought of this, and I'm like, well, that's kind of what we're doing here. So, all right. So again, it's nothing new and unique, but it's one of those things that when you see like somebody posted on Twitter and then 5 people be like, "Oh my god, this is brilliant," and you're like, I mean, this just makes me sad because like I know somebody who's a way bigger simmer or something is gonna do it, and then somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, you copied so and so." I didn't copy jack shit, okay? But it's not a new, unique idea, so let's be real. Let's be real, it's not a unique idea. The story and our backstory and our characters should be, you know what I mean? But the concept is not. Obviously, the concept being, I want to play with the rebirth thing because that's not something I will use in any of my other gameplay because I do legacy challenges most of the time, and once we move on, our Sims, we move on with our next generation, our Sims grow old, they die, whatever, and I'm not going to go back, play them as ghosts, do that, and then rebirth them or anything like that. So that's not something that fits in with my normal style of gameplay, but I wanted to utilize it and try it. So, again, everyone's doing some version of this. Our version, of course, is, again, not like hasn't been done in media a bazillion times. We are doing a vampire version because I like playing with the cults. So we have our vampire sim, we have our human lover. Obviously, humans going to end up dying. We're going to play with them as a ghost. We're going to rebirth them and then see if their soulmate ties and all of that kind of come together in the next life because our vampire will never age and die. So, and I thought that was kind of beautiful. And again, I saw somebody else as soon as I came up with this idea. Again, not original. I think Spring Sims commented under that, like, oh, like, Vampire Diaries. And I'm like, I've never watched Vampire Diaries, but it doesn't surprise me that there's TV show and media and all that shit out there that have done this before. Because, again, not a unique concept. It's just when you think and you don't like see other people, you don't get ideas from other people, you think of it in your head and then you see 7,000 other people have the same idea, you just like get, damn it! But again, like, Whatever. Anyway, obviously our Sims here. So, this intro one is going to be a little weird and baffling. I'm going to kind of give you, can you see if he will let you feed, drink plasma, ask for permission? He should let you drink, because you're thirsty and he loves you. It's okay. First of all, I know we're living in the new world. I was gonna put them in the spooky area, but I'm like, you know what? I like this. This is the house Kate Emerald built, the mansion that's like kind of crumbling and like whatever. And I really liked it because I'm like, we can rebuild it and stuff like that. Oh, hey. Wait a minute. You're supposed to be dead, sir. What are you doing here? Wait a minute, 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 whoa, 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 whoa. Um, wait a minute. What the fuck happened to my game? What the actual fuck just happened? No, that's not right. No, that's not right. Why are they not dead? Oh shit. Okay. Um, okay. Um, I don't understand what this pack did. Edmund is Ambrose's father, but he died. He's supposed to be fucking dead. How do I? Okay, hold on a second. Okay, wait a minute. I'm gonna have to fix something. So I'm gonna be I'll be back in a second. This is so fucking wrong. What did this game fucking do? Holy shit. Okay. So I think I know what happened. I think it's because I had a mod in when I killed them. And then when I took that mod out, it must have resurrected them and been like, well, they can't die that way because that death doesn't exist in the game, instead of just leaving them dead. So I just had to re-go in. I was going to go into the household and kill them, but they're not in the world because they're not supposed to be. So I just killed them in like Grimm's here because Edmund just died on our doors. Don't worry about it. Okay, listen, this is a great start to this. But anyway, don't cry. You better be crying because of the show. Oh, cold spot. Oh, I know what I wanted to do too. I wanted to give our house. Does our house have yes, that's what I want. I want it on hallowed ground. Okay, it does. Okay, anyway. So let me go in and modify household and cat. Well, okay, we'll go into cast and you'll see everybody after. But let's talk about Ambrose right now because he's the main character. He is a vampire, obviously. So he has been alive for motherfucking forever. He's hundreds of years, whatever. So he was born basically in ye olde times. That's all I can say, ye olde times. His father kind of left his own family. They had an arranged marriage for him. So for Edmund, who you just saw at the door, who is, now dead again, Edmund Francis. Okay. They had arranged marriage for him, but he fell in love with someone else and they didn't kind of approve of her. So he basically took her and ran away to start a family. So that is Kiyomi. So there she is right there. So they ran away and everything, and they had twins. So they had Ambrose and they had Ash. Oh no, hello. You were supposed to be dead, child. You were supposed to be dead. He's supposed to be dead. How do I? Oh, we'll just drown him. Good enough. Okay, whatever. Shh, it's fine. He's not dead. Whatever. He died hundreds of years ago, okay? Okay, this is the only room that I redid in this house. So if you've seen Kate Emerald's build, there was like two tiny rooms and a bathroom. I opened them all up. There's a secret door. It's a secret office. So because here you go. Here's all of his photos. So the birth certificates for him and Asher, there's their first baby prints, and here's all his family photos. So there is the photo. There is Edmund and Kiyomi down here with Ambrose and Asher. There's Kiyomi when she was pregnant. There they are as kids. I had these. Oh, that's not lined up right. They don't snap to the frame. Asher's calling to talk. Yeah, you can talk to your dead brother. You know what I mean? So we have the pictures of them. They were besties. Um, so anyway, they, uh, Kiyomi and Edmund had, they had a happy life. They had two, you know, their two beautiful sons, whatever. And Asher, well, now we're just going to say Asher drowned. I originally had it written in he died of an illness when they were children, so he died as a child. But apparently the game was like, fuck you, I'm going to resurrect him. I don't remember how I killed him when I set this all up because I made Edmund and Kiyomi and I had them get married, had the kid. Like these, you can see they were born in game. Asher and Ambrose were born in the game. Um, so like, so like, and I'm pretty sure I killed Asher and like, I don't know. So we'll get to why I think they resurrected, and I don't think it was the game. I think it was my mod. But anyway, so Asher, Ambrose, Edmund, Kiyomi, right, the Francis family was living next to these expelled vampires. Now, the expelled vampires were the possessivo Sims Esmeralda and Ava. These are Sims that are in this world. This safe. Oh my God, is this? I think this is an updated version of Isle Rue's save file. I think it's one of her. Oh God, guys, I'll have to get that information. I'll probably link it below. I can't remember now. So those were Sims that she made, and that's their actual backstory, is that Esmeralda and Ava hate each other, but they got kicked out of Forgotten Hollow by Vlad over here. He was like, enough of your shenanigans, and kicked them out of Forgotten Hollow, so they're in the Windenburg. So I just ran with their story, because Esmeralda is like a psychopath. So I ran with that and kind of tied it into ours. So I did not create these characters or their backstory. I kind of just tied ours in. So anyway, Esmeralda and Ava kind of worried that they had been discovered by these normies living next door to them or whatever. So Esmeralda decides, you know what? They're going to come after us and kill us because that's what humans do. They kill vampires and we're not even allowed to be in our protected neighborhood of Forgotten Hollow. So fuck that. I'm going to kill them first. So she decides to kill them to prevent them, say, basically, for killing her. So because she kind of assumed they're vampire hunters, and she's also sick and evil, and she kind of thought it'd be fun to kill the humans. Because again, that kind of goes with her story, I kind of feel like, because I think the story on her, she's a little bit of a psychopath. Anyway, so she breaks into the house. Again, at this point, Asher was already dead. He was a child. Ambrose was a, like, teenager. So, I mean, it's years later, right? And Esmeralda breaks in, basically, and she attacks and brutally murders she murders Edmund and Kiyomi, and then Ambrose is basically close to death, so Ava is like, the only way to save him is to turn him into a vampire. So that's why he has a very bad relationship with Esmeralda, because she murdered his fucking family, basically. And he doesn't have the best relationship with Ava, because, like, she turned him, and he's still a little bit mad about that, and I think there's a little bit of animosity, like, your sister killed my fucking family, and, like, yeah, I'm alive, but, like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So there's some animosity going on with those guys. And then he's basically taken in by Vlad, and Calidora is Vlad's wife, and Tony and Madeline, Calidora was pregnant when I moved them in, so that's their toddler twins now, and Narcissa, or whatever her name is, Narcissa, whatever. She was already living there, so he was basically taken in by Vlad for a while, until he kind of got his vampire wings. And let me tell you something. He was afraid of vampires, so he wouldn't turn into a fucking vampire. So I had to go through the process of trying to turn him into a vampire like 4 motherfucking times. And then at one point, he turned into I cheated him with MC Command Center, and it totally fucked up what he looked like. His human looks, and I was like, no, we're not doing that. He was born in oh my God, it was a hot mess, guys. Setting this up has been, as you saw, Edmund, who's been dead for 100 or 2 years, whatever, just rolls up the front door like, not dead, and I had to kill everybody again. So, like, whatever. Setting this up has been a train wreck. See, here's the thing. Other people might have the, like, vampire and human lover reincarnated, all that stuff, or, like, two lovers reincarnated and do the same thing. But nobody's going to have a hot mess like this, is all I'm saying. But anyway, so, yeah. So once he turns into a vampire, he basically kind of ventures off on his own and away from the vampire coven and all the vampy politics and stuff like that, because he's like, no, not dealing with that. But if you see also on his little wall, oh, hey, Wesley. That's Wesley. Don't worry, we'll get to Wesley. But as you can see on his other wall up here in his office, under his family, we've got all of his photos. So when he first turned, back in other later, not quite as ye olde days, he's got these pictures of him, and I actually think this look works for him. Like, he's so good. Like, he's so baby faced and ridiculous and adorable, but like he was so suave like this, and I don't like Ambrose. What happened? Because like I don't. We might have to get the fucking mustache and shit back. I don't know. You know what I mean? So these are some photos. And then also we have his like 1940s gangster look, because like maybe he was in the mafia. So I just have some photos, and they're not lined up right, because these photo frames are just decorative, and then you can put the photos in, but you have to line them up. So I obviously did not do a good job lining them up the other night. I was doing it on Halloween in between trick-or-treaters, so whatever. So these are all just his old family photos and stuff like that. That's his old wall of stuff. And inside this we have all the extra photos. Wait, is it that one? Yeah, that's a music box. Okay, so in that one we have all the other family photos. You can see there's a picture of him and Wesley over here because, obviously they've been together for a little while. I did play this a little bit so that Wesley would age up. And then this is his desk, and he can sit here and he can just stare at his wall of Wesley because this is just his wall of Wesley. He adores Wesley. Literally, he adores this man. Like, it's kind of disgusting. So, and as you can see, obsessed. And you can see by the photos, they are married. They did get married, but like, spoiler, I guess, for that. Also, in Ambrose's relationships, why is she not here? Oh, she's up here. Matilda over here. Matilda is also a vampire. She lives in the house where Wesley's family was, not Wesley's family, where Ambrose's family was brutally murdered. And she is a vampire. Technically, okay, so for setting up the story, I moved his family in with her so she could take all the family photos and stuff like that, and it would just be easier to have like a third party there. That's why they're close, but we're just going to pretend that never happened. But he became friends with her for our purposes of our story because she found family photos, some of the family photos, because like when he ran away after being attacked by vampires, he had nothing. She found all those family photos and all those little things like that in the house when she moved in, knowing what happened there, because obviously she's a vampire too. So she got in touch with Ambrose, kind of reconnected him with those photos and like whatever. So, they became friends because, so she's a good vampire, so she's his friend. And then these are obviously, I don't know who this lady is. We must have met her somewhere. We've met some of these other people randomly, but really only Esmeralda and Ava, the Strouds, and our family are the ones that I really know. And then Wesley, obviously. And then Wesley. Wesley is a human. Obviously. So Wesley grew up basically kind of in a small backwoods, likes deception. I'm going to say no. You're a little more wholesome than that. Wesley grew up in a very small town with very old-fashioned views. You know what I'm talking about. It's kind of like the Footloose town, except for, instead of like no dancing, it's typical quintessential backwoods nowhere town of like, oh, you're one of those. Not very open with views. They probably also were like the Footloose town where you couldn't dance either. I'm not putting it past him. His father was basically the mayor, and his parents expected him basically to become an attorney and go into politics like his father and all of that stuff. And so he was made to do all sorts of things as a child so he could be well-rounded. You want to be well-rounded and knowledgeable in everything because you should know everything and be able to do everything and outsmart everyone and just be the best at everything. So basically, so people would be, oh, wow, all these podunk people in this town would be like, he's the smartest. You know what I mean? Which is kind of shady and douchey. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being well rounded, but their reasoning for making and wanting him to be well rounded was not exactly, you know, for the betterment of him. It was to make them look better and whatnot. And you can obviously tell this is Ambrose's side of the bed because he's got a picture of Wesley there, and there's pictures of them all over the fucking house. I spent. Oh, we didn't add a frame to this. There's pictures of them all over the house, so when we redecorate, we got to be careful. But anyway, so so he did music, sports, everything, and he excelled at music, and he really sucked at sports. Okay, he's not good at sports at fucking all. In fact, he is a musically inclined sim. He does have, we'll go over his not skills and everything, but his personality traits and everything after we get to the backstory and stuff like that. Well, since he's sleeping, we'll follow Ambrose around if he's going to do anything interesting. But yeah, so he was sort of, like Wesley was kind of friendly with one kid on his like soccer team who was basically like the soccer team star. And that kid was nice enough to Wesley. That kid doesn't have a name. I didn't think too far about it. Listen, I was trying to think about like what's Wesley's real backstory because I kind of had the game set up. I kind of had them do, and I was like, Wesley needs like a little bit of a backstory. He's got to have something like what makes him him. So I went through one night and I was sitting there in my head and I was like thinking all this through and I'm like, why am I thinking this to myself and not writing it down? So I jotted down some quick notes. So just if I mess up and skip around, it's because of that. So anyway, so this other kid, soccer kid friend, whatever. We don't know his name. Soccer kid, whatever. So so that he was not, they weren't really friends, but the kid was nice enough to him. So like, it was good enough for Wesley. Like, okay, we're acquaintances. And while Wesley didn't have a lot of friends, this kid was not douchey. So like, whatever. So in high school, he was basically still forced onto the soccer team. Again, they let him on the soccer team because his dad was the mayor. So it was like, yeah, okay, even though he sucked. So, but he basically spent his entire soccer team career, if you could say that, air quotes around that, as basically the water boy. They put him in the mascot costume, bench warmer, whatever, because he sucked. Meanwhile, there is a soccer ball. There was a soccer ball in one of their somebody had 2 soccer balls in their inventory, so we do have one. Maybe we shouldn't have that. Maybe that's going to traumatize Wesley. And maybe he'll get better at it, but he really wasn't good enough. You know what I mean? But his old friend was, again, the star player on this high school team. Think of it like high school football, but for the purposes of The Sims, we don't have football. We have soccer. I think they did have football in high school years, but for real, when you go to college, it's like soccer team. So it was just like, let's go with the soccer thing because it just kind of ties better into soccer team and all that stuff like that and whatnot. You could probably, while you're here, well, why don't you do something? Why don't you write a goal for your bucket list? Not that you're ever going to die. Do you even have being a vampire? It's like vampires don't have bucket lists. Wesley needs to work on that because we're going to try to rebirth him, obviously. But anyway, so that his childhood acquaintance friend became the star player. And while he wasn't a bully, he wasn't really as friendly with Wesley anymore. But, Wesley kind of ended up having a crush on this guy. So now this guy's going to be known as Crush. He's Crush now because it's Wesley's crush. So there you go. So he basically because again, Wesley was a little bit of an outcast. I'd love to have a dolphin friend. I mean, I think that's a little, okay, listen. I think that's a noble bucket list item, okay? Be like, I want to go make a dolphin friend. But you're also a vampire, and if I didn't have the vampires don't burst into flames in the sun mod, that would kind of be a little fucked up, Sims team. What are you playing at? What sense does that make? I know they didn't take that into account. They're just like, okay, whatever. But it's like, but you do realize how fucked up that seems. When my vampire would go to the beach and literally burst into flames and die, but because he wants to have a dolphin friend. Okay, all right. That is Whatever. Oh my God, that's hilarious, actually. Ask Wesley about his day. We'll do that. I'll go a little bit faster through this because it's like really late. Nobody has any jobs. Anyway, Wesley harbored a crush on this kid all throughout school, whatever. So, but he had to kind of hide, who he truly was because of the small town and his parents' expectations and everything. And as you've noticed, it's not just that Wesley is gay. Okay, obviously all my Sims are gay, by the way, in case you're new here. Wesley's also a little bit of a drag queen. Have you seen that? This is Wesley. There he is, his fabulous persona. Wesley's actually a Sim that I had in my gallery that I made a long time ago. His last name was already Westbrook, right? And I was like, I forget what his first name was Ace Westbrook, whatever. I just randomized it. But when I was remaking him and doing him over for this, I'm like, let me randomize his name. And the first randomize came up Wesley Westbrook. And I was like, you know what? We're leaving that because that's karma right there. That's chef's kiss. It's perfect. And now Ambrose's last name turned to Westbrook. But you know what? I feel like I was going to change it back. Like, okay. Okay. Pause on the backstory. Okay, so originally Ambrose was romantic. And then he spent so much time with Wesley that he became romantically reserved. And I allowed that swap to happen because I was like, the romantically reserved Sims, right? It was like, instead of being, oh, I want a romantic and whatever, I'm reserved romantically. I only want that one special person. And that was Wesley, and he had it, and it was perfect. And now I think it's weird that it wants to go from romantically reserved to love bug because I feel like love bug is a little more like I don't think I'm going to do that. I don't think I'm going to do that because even though he adores Wesley, I think the romantically reserved worked because he does all the romantic interactions with Wesley. Wesley is his soulmate and all that stuff. You know, I probably should have put that somewhere else so you're not staring into the wall. Are you gonna, like, wake up ever? Because this is, like, your story that we're telling, and we gotta follow Ambrose around. This first part's gonna be, like, all the backstory and all the random shit, and then we'll, like, whatever, and then we'll get into playing and doing normal stuff in the next part. We are gonna have 2 parts this week just because I'm a psycho, and all of my normal series, not counting Twisted Tiny Town, end in part 2. Like 132, part 122, part 42. I can't have this one be 1. And then next week everything ends in 3 and this is 2. I can't fucking have that. That'll drive me goddamn insane. So we're doing 2 parts this week so that next week when everything ends in 3, this will also end in 3 and I won't feel like a nutter butter. I know I'm already insane. But anyway, hold on. Let me pay the bills. Pay bills. Okay. Oh, you wanted to ask him about his day, right? Yeah. See, like, so he has express regard, charm, and they actually came out really cute. I kind of like that. Small talk. Ask about day. There you go. You better not be talking about getting divorced, Wesley. What the shit? You just got married. But anyway, so eventually when Wesley's like around 18, 19, he basically finds in the nearby city, the next city over, which, okay, it's a big city for the podunk town they came from, but it's still like not a big city, you know what I mean? He found some kind of dive bars and clubs in a very shady, not so great neighborhood in this nearby city that he would go to drink and basically kind of perform as his female drag persona. And that's kind of how he could get away with it because there's shadier, divier bars in like really skeevy neighborhoods and like the rules weren't so, and it's like, whatever, you know what I mean? You're going to find some weird people there who are like, yeah, okay, whatever. And letting a teenager somebody who's not even legal to drink. You know what I mean? So, like, not an all-around great situation, if you get what I'm saying. But, so one night, Wesley is, but it's the only way he can live out this other side of who he is. Because Wesley is very much, like, perfectly fine in his masculine persona and walking around in suits and doing everything, and, like, looking Like it's not, you know what I mean? Like, he's perfectly fine like that. Some days he just wants to put on a wig and a dress and be his feminine persona, and sometimes he just, you know what I mean? So they're both sides of him, but he can never express that other side, that feminine side, because first of all, he can never even just admit that he was gay to begin with in the town he lived in, and let alone, like, even if his town was accept, parents were like, okay, fine, they would never have let him walk around in a skirt. You know what I mean? So, like, this was the only way he could really express that other side of him. Look at you getting all flirty. You guys gonna be all romantic on your own? Yeah, you're adorable. You adore each other. Anyway, so, oh, look at, oh, he's so cute. That's the romantic reserved. He's so sweet. Are you gonna, like, are you gonna chat? All of this fancy piano, I'm pretty sure Wesley got from his job. Actually, he does have a job. He is a professional pianist now at his musician job. Play an instrument. You need to achieve level 6 of violin or guitar. Which one do you have level 5 in? No, I'm on you, right? Wait, violin is, okay, violin. You're, okay. I'm just gonna have you, I will have you fiddle for fun. Oh, okay, never mind. The welcoming committee's here. Hold on. Hold on, let's get them in. That's not the front door. I don't know why. I cannot figure out where the fuck I am in this house. You know, whatever. Let's come here and invite neighbors in. And then we can come over here and give a... I hate the I just want friendly introduction. Or cheerful. Like, why is howdy introduction gotta be the motherfucking... Hi. Hello. You know what? I'm just saying. I'm scoping you out because we're going to steal you away from your lady friend in one of our other games. I'm just saying because you're kind of handsome. We're not doing that in this, though, because... So, like, free money. Yes, please. Hey, I'm taking it. I don't care. They keep calling me and giving me money, and, like, I have yet to figure out what the catch is. I'm probably going to regret it because I've done it in every single one of my games so far today. But anyway, so again, back to Wesley. One night, his crush comes in to the bar, and he's already a little tipsy. This crush has been out there getting a little drunk, random places. Ask about Raven? Sure, let's do that. We're gonna discuss near-death experiences. Wesley, I gave the chase by death, and we'll get to why that works. And okay, wait, hold on. Ravenwood Fast Facts. Were you aware that you can now plan grieving events? Now, you know, it's pertinent because for some bizarre reason, my simply massive number of friends pre-death forgot to hold a funeral for me when I passed. That's sad. Not that I hold a grudge or wish them an absolute worst every day of my afterlife. No, that's not me. But if you have a heart unlike them, you may want to try our new options for funeral events on for size. Funeral events? Okay. Aw. We're getting along. Anyway. So, Crush is a little tipsy and at the time. West is very drunk at this point, you know? So they're kind of flirting a little, but Crush has no idea it's Wesley. I know I called him West, but like, that's my little abbreviation name for him, but like, he has no idea that it's Wesley in this dress, because he's a little too, he's tipsy. He's not quite as drunk as Wesley is, but he's not sober enough to realize, also Wesley's beautiful, so whatever. And he has no idea that it's Wesley, let alone it's a man. Okay. So, because Crush is straight, so that's totally valid. Oh, of course you brought us death bread. I like the fact that in Ravenwood, they don't bring you goddamn fruit cake. They bring you pan de muerto, which makes motherfucking sense. Like, look at how beautiful this boy is. He's lovely. Anyway, so they basically end up outside in the alley, kind of making out, fooling around a little. And Wesley tells Crush that he's always kind of been into him, always had a thing for him. And Crush is like, he's like, wait, but we've never met. This is the first time I've ever seen you, man. Well, not man. He's like, this is the first time I've ever met you. We've never met before. And Wesley kind of reveals himself, kind of tells him, like, it's me, it's Wesley. We went to school together. We were, you know, on the soccer team, whatever. And Crush is kind of appalled by this. Now, I mean, to be fair, Wesley making out with a man who's not into men is a little inappropriate, but Crush getting a little violent and shoving Wesley off and basically saying horrible things to him is also not fucking appropriate. That's really fucking wrong. They're both at fault here, okay? Let's just be real. But Wesley was also, oh, he's going to work. Every time he goes to work, he always has his hair like this because his original first outfit, was like had this hair, this wig was snatched. So just we got to ignore it though because his outfit when he's going to work like this to be a pianist is really not fitting his backstory and his story. But we'll get to it. Like so just I can't. It's just the way it was, but it's stuck like that now. Anyway, so the Crush kind of shoves Wesley, maybe punches him, just kind of shoves him, ends up injuring him, but not anything too serious. Wesley also being a little drunk, stumbling, falling, hurting himself. It's not a great situation all around. It's not great on either of their parts. It's, whatever. But anyway, Crush leaves. So, but Wesley in his kind of drunken state stumbles away. Nobody really knows what's happening here. Is he trying to head home? Where is he going? What's he thinking? He doesn't even fucking remember what really kind of happened at this point. But he kind of stumbles into another darker, shadier alley, if you can believe it, where he's attacked. And he can't remember what happened, but he swears it was a monster that nearly killed him. But then someone kind of came along and saved him. But again, he remembers feeling, he swears it was like an angel that saved him, but he was super fucking drunk. He was basically near death and he just saw some kind of magic light. And so he thinks it's an angel. Like he doesn't really know. And again, drunk, attacked, whatever. And everybody thinks like, okay, yeah, he's drunk and crazy and whatever. Was it a vampire? Was it a werewolf? Was it a fight between a werewolf and a vampire pack? We don't know. And poor Wesley going to be traumatized by that soccer ball, but we may never know what exactly it was. Wesley has the scars to prove he was attacked, though. He actually does. But anyway, the doctors basically ridicule him and the idea that he was sick. Could you not just put your plates down? Do I not have a trash can in my house? You know what? I do have a trash can, so like, why don't you throw your trash away? We should get the magic trash can, to be fair, because I don't know if we have an outside trash can. Let me get the magic trash can while we're here and thinking about this. Eventually, we will rebuild. I can't with the words and my mouth today, and make everything a little bit better. And I wanted to do a little bit more, but I was finishing up this at the last minute on Halloween when the pack came out. And, it was Halloween. And then yesterday was Friday after it was the first. And because I record my whole week's worth of stuff on Saturday, if you're new here and you didn't know. And so I didn't do anything last night because I was like tired. And so I never loaded or did anything. I still don't even have a thumbnail for this. So like, whatever. Anyway, the doctors ridicule that Wesley was attacked, by monsters and some angel light or whatever saved him. And they basically assume he was attacked because he's a man in a dress. Because again, small town doctors, small-minded people. And he got what he deserved. Again, that's inappropriate and wrong, just FYI. Just for the purposes of the story, okay? Like, don't you want to yeet these assholes? Don't you just hate the doctors on behalf of poor Wesley? Don't you just feel for him already? Because I do. But, and his savior was obviously the doctors at the hospital, not some fucking magical angel light or whatever. So, poor Wesley not only can I just say this is one of my favorite I love this. I love this fucking suit. I really do. I think Wesley might be wearing this. You need to eat. Okay, you do have plasma packs. We're going to have you drink this. Why did that ghost say, like, maybe next time, as if, like, we weren't talking to him the whole motherfucking time? That's weird. You're like, okay, bye. Whatever, dude. Anyway. So, there's a little... These are like two in tandem. I have like two little notes side by side, so I didn't know which one went first in the thing. But there's basically rumors about his crush, about Crush hitting him. Those things kind of surface, but Wesley knows it wasn't Crush. Like he knows it's like yes, he did hit me, whatever, but he's not the one who did this to me. And it's not just because he has a crush on the kid. It's more like I
So
know,
so.
like I know it has nothing to do with that. Why don't
Absolutely.
you just come over here and play the piano for now? Um, and his parents basically side with Crush. Oh, let's see something. Ooh, Wesley's feeling more confident than ever that he's recording incredible new tracks, and wouldn't you know, it just so happens that the annual Starlight Accolades Awards are taking place tonight, and this is the first year he's felt that he's had a shot at the award for Best New Recording Artist. That said, submitting material for consideration costs a hefty fee and would be an embarrassing setback if he doesn't even make the final list of nominees. Will he see his work worthy of recognition? So, if he submits work, he'll gain fame, but he has to pay a submission fee. And I think he'll do it because the submission fee, he'd do it. 1,200, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter if Wesley was like, I need 1,200, I gotta do. Ambrose would fucking sell a kidney and probably regrow it because he's a vampire. Who the fuck knows? He's like, I don't need kidneys. I'm a vampire. Whatever. You know what I mean? He'll be like, I'll go find someone in your small fucking town that was a douche to you. I will kill them and take both their fucking kidneys and sell them for you. Like, Ambrose is not a murdery vampire, but he would do it for Wesley. I'm just saying. Anyway, so Wesley's parents side with his crush, because they're ashamed of Wesley, and basically, in light of him being found in drag and all the information that comes out, and it's near election time, and his dad's rerunning, like whatever. Do you elect mayors? I really don't fucking know. I'm like, I don't know if you do. I mean, you do sheriff race things and like whatever. Do you do it for? I'm assuming you would have to. Yeah, you have to have mayoral. Yeah, you have mayoral elections. Why did I all of a sudden get stupid and like not know this shit? I don't know how many times you can run for mayor though. You know what I mean? Is there like a limit? Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's a small town. Nobody gives a fuck.
Drunk is say.
Um,
Shumbin.
I don't know why my brain just broke and was like, "Do you do?" Yes, yes, you do. Stupid. Jesus, just forget I'm not a just forget that. I'm not doing well right now, clearly. Anyway, his parents disown him, kick him out, and he basically, at that point, starts moving from town to town, just moving around, working at dive bars and clubs as his drag persona, trying to just move himself along and get further away from his family, but like only being able to move a little bit at a time because you have to save up money and you're paying for rent and all those things. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit of a dragging yourself along on the struggle bus. If it's not even a struggle bus, it's a struggle drag yourself along kind of. So eventually he ends up in this club in San Myshuno. Okay. Um, and this is a very secret underground occult club. Okay. And he's performing as his drag self, doing his singing, and his masculine self when he's playing the piano for other songstresses. This is why him wearing his wig like that and all the makeup and looking like his drag persona in the suit is a little off because he starts performing like he'll be in his drag persona as a beautiful, and that's when he's singing, and then he's dressed in a suit looking like he does go to normal, looking like a man. Okay, when he's playing the piano, when there's other ladies up there singing, whether they are drag queens or not. No, you know what? Sure, we'll change it. We'll let you go back to being romantic. I'll let you go back to being romantic. I did like romantically reserved because it was kind of sweet with some of the little interactions that you had, but you keep trying to change it on me, so fine. Um, so you know what I mean? So he kind of flips back and forth depending on what role they need him to play, and it lets him be his true self in whatever form, you know? So in his day-to-day life, he's basically secure in himself in both of his forms. As a performer, he still wears masks in a way. Like he's up there as a beautiful performer, and then he's on the piano like a stoic piano player, like whatever. But out and about, he's just kind of himself. You know what I mean? But it's kind of like normal. You put on a work mask when you go to work, you know, so it's kind of similar to that, but he also doesn't engage too much outside. I mean, yes, obviously he has to engage with people outside in the real world outside of his job because he's got to go grocery shopping and he's got to do whatever. You know what I mean? But he kind of avoids talking to people as much as possible, but he doesn't feel as awkward and afraid anymore because he's in San Myshuno. There's so many different types of people. There's so many different cultures and everything around that he doesn't feel awkward and ashamed or wrong in himself. Like he's perfectly fine if he's going out one day, you know, in a like as his feminine persona self, like in his feminine self, like doing dressed like that, whatever. Even if he's not wearing a wig and makeup, if he's just Wesley in a skirt, he doesn't feel weird about it. Like, because people in San Myshuno are like, okay, whatever. You know what I mean? People in San Myshuno are accepting and understanding. Okay. You know? So, his feminine performer self is basically outgoing and adores the attention that he gets from the crowd. And meanwhile, his masculine piano performer self is more reserved, doesn't really mingle with the crowd or the patrons. He keeps his eyes on the keys and he leaves when his job is over. You know what I mean? So, again, when he's out and about, he's just himself. But when he's on stage, he really revels in the attention. And I think it's easier for him to revel in the attention when he's got all of his makeup and he's singing and he's getting praise for that. And when he's on the piano, he's just kind of zoned into the music and he's letting those other performers, it's like, it's about them. Because that's how he feels when he's up there. He's like, it's about me. So in the days where he's working as a pianist, he'll just do his job. He goes home. When he's when he's up there singing, whatever, he'll sometimes mingle with the crowd. You know what I mean? He'll joke around, talk to them, whatever. It's like, so he still kind of has that mask. And even though every single day when he's going out in town, he's a little more kind of like the combination of both of them. It's his real self. He can talk to people, and if nobody talks to him, he's fine. You know what I mean? But like, anyway. So, okay, one night when he's up there, as in his, doing his singing, he's in there, he's his full feminine persona self. He's basically sees a man sitting alone at a table whose only focus is Wesley. That's it. Like most people are kind of focusing on him and then they're talking amongst themselves. They're getting drinks, they're mingling, they're enjoying the atmosphere. All this man is focused on is Wesley. And obviously you can guess it was Ambrose. All right. I don't need to be like, who's this mysterious? It's not a surprise. Okay. Gasp. Okay, wait. Collective. What? Gasp of surprise. You knew. Okay. Right. So, and this happens constantly. Like, this man only sees Wesley. Like, he's the only person in this entire club. And Wesley starts to kind of enjoy this and look forward to this. And I put a little note, obviously, this is Ambrose. I mean, again, obviously. So, and like others might fawn over Wesley, like when he's performing and stuff like that. But again, they're still mingling, they're still chatting, they kind of fawn over the other performers. But Ambrose, he doesn't know who Ambrose is at the time. But this man is different. You know what I mean? What do you want to do? Chat with a non-household sim, schedule a date. Because he's jealous. He's like, whatever. Let's flatter. I know that you want to schedule a date. I will pin that. I don't want to do that right now because we're still going through the backstory. And I don't want to interrupt that because we've already kind of done it enough. But anyway. So eventually, Ambrose kind of makes contact with Wesley. And they start to chat here and there. Small talk, little light flirting. And Wesley is kind of starting to fall for Ambrose at this point. But he's kind of afraid of it because, look at his past, right? And he's thinking, this man likes me right now in this drag persona. Like, hello, like in this. Over here, likes this beautiful woman. Doesn't really know who I am. He doesn't know me. He doesn't know who I am. He doesn't know everything about me, and, so, one day, Ambrose really kind of lays on the flirting. Like, Ambrose, even though he was a romantic sim to start and then he flipped to romantically reserved, he kind of held it back. And then he just laid it out there, like just went out, went for it. Because I think for Ambrose too, everyone in his family's died. He's always kind of kept to himself, whatever. He's never, as romantic as he is, he's never found that person or anyone that he'd want to like romance. But Wesley was different, So He really lays on the flirt. And Wesley basically tells him it's not going to happen because, tells Ambrose like you don't really see me. You don't really know who I am. You don't really see me. And Ambrose is like, next time you perform, I want you to look at the audience, to really look. I want you to look. And the way he kind of says it sticks with Wesley because Wesley's like, I do look at the audience. Like, that's how I noticed you watching me. He's like thinking this to himself. He's like, that's how I noticed Ambrose watching me. That's how I noticed him constantly staring at me is because I look at the audience. Like, what is he talking about? But at his next performance, he kind of thinks of the conversation again and he realizes this performance, he's on piano. He's not singing. He's not. So, and then he like starts to kind of put it together like something kind of makes him check out the audience when the performance is kind of over because again, he doesn't ever check out the audience. He doesn't make eye contact. He does that when he's performing, when he's singing, when he's in his drag persona, when he's that person. But when he's on piano, it's keys are the piano's the only thing that matters and then he's gone. So, he's thinking of this whole conversation in his head as he's performing and then he's like, all right, wait a minute. So the performance kind of ends. He kind of looks out. He's glancing around and he finds Ambrose out there in the audience, right? And Ambrose's eyes are fixed on Wesley like they always have been. And as himself, not as that beautiful woman that he stands up there as, but as himself in just a suit, in like his normal masculine self, right? And just like every other time. And like that's kind of where it starts to click for Wesley, like, wait a minute. So Wesley decides I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna talk to him, which he's never done. He never goes onto the club floor when he's in his masculine self, when he's like doing the piano performances. And as he's crossing the floor, because you just have to imagine this scene in your head. You're coming out the side door and you have to walk across the entire fucking club. It's not a huge club. It's not ginormous. It's a relatively small underground club. But for Wesley, who's never stepped foot on the floor in this persona, in this self, and just knowing how attracted he is to Ambrose and like whatever, and now he's not talking to him in his female persona, like, you know what I mean? It's totally different, the anxiety and the nervousness and everything, and how slow motion it fucking feels for him as he is trying to like walk across this floor, catching glimpses and meeting Ambrose's gaze between the crowd as like people are just walking back and forth to the bar and to their tables and everything. And just, people will block your view, but as soon as they go by, your eyes are connected again. And like your eyes have never really taken off each other, even if there's a body in front of you. It's like you're boring holes through that person. You know what I mean? So he's basically anxious and nervous, trying to figure out what the hell he's gonna say. And by the time he gets to Ambrose's table, he's still at a loss for words. He has no idea. He has no clue what to say. All of the things he's ever said and however suave he felt talking to Ambrose before, it's fucking gone. It's gone, okay? And Ambrose basically just gestures for him to sit down. So, cause Wesley obviously does. And then he just finally says, you see me. Like, not just me, Wesley, in this persona, but me as a whole. That's what he means. You know what I mean? And Ambrose is like, I always have. Like, I see all of you, And that's basically where the romance starts, and it's just instant and intense, and it's steamy and hot and ridiculous, and it's the shit of porn novels, okay? Indoorsy lifestyle, that's working for you because you don't like to leave your house. You've got some trauma. Also, I'm sorry. We definitely have the indoorsy life because we spent like 45 minutes going over the story. But anyway, so their first night together, though, it makes Wesley even more anxious because he does have scars from his attack. But Ambrose is like, you don't have to tell me until you're ready, and it doesn't bother me. Like, it's not like, I'm not going to judge you for it. Like, I don't care. Like, they're part of who you are. It's not like I'm going to find you less attractive or anything like that. And you don't have to tell me what happened until you're ready to tell me what happened. And basically that he loves him anyway. I'm going to cry. I know I wrote this, but I still love it, you know? And it's kind of shocking to Wesley because love really wasn't what he expected this suddenly. Like, he was just like, okay, we're just having a torrid hot romance. And then he's like, wait a minute, what now? But he's also kind of elated over this because he's always been envious. He's a jealous sim. So he's always been kind of envious and jealous of his fellow performers, their love affairs and their romances and everything, because he's always been afraid to connect with anyone since the trauma of his first crush basically being like appalled at who he was, and also his family being ashamed of him. You know what I mean? So even though he's sort of living his best life, it's just that romance has kind of been like, it's never going to be on the table for me. I just like, just always thought that was never going to happen because of that. So eventually, obviously, he tells Ambrose about his attack, his past, and everything like that. And Ambrose kind of asks how he ended up at the club that he's working at, because it's an occult club. Like, it's an occult club, and if you were attacked by, like, vampires or werewolves or monsters, how did you end up working at a club that kind of caters and services occults? Like, you know what I mean? And Wesley can't really explain because he's not really sure himself. They assume since he's been touched by the occult that, like, from the attack and whatever rescue, whatever saved him, that he swears saved him, right? That it's kind of what's drawn him there and enabled him access, because this is not like a club that just anybody can fucking walk into. You can't be a human off the street and walk into. It's kind of like obscured from human sight, you know? It's really weird because, like, and now that's living here in Ravenwood is almost perfect, because this is where the line between the occult, in a way, like the other realm with ghosts and everything, the veil is very thin here. So it is a little odd in a way for Wesley to live here because, I don't think he's worried about ghosts or anything like that. Actually, I think he kind of, I wasn't thinking about this until now, but I think he'd want to have moved here because he is chased by death because of his attack. That's why I put that trait on him, because I was like, he was attacked. He's always like, whatever. And then whatever is lingering around him from this occult attack, however it touched him like this, whatever effect it left behind, has kind of, drawn him, left him with this chased by death kind of a thing. So I think he'd be way more curious about some place like this where the veil is thinner, and like coming here and also trying to figure out really what happened to him, come to terms with it, and then also kind of connect with this deathly other realm, because death is chasing this man ever since this happened. You know what I mean? So I feel like that kind of could work into it. But basically, again, the club is for occults, beings that are in league with or work with occults. And like, so it's not like only occults, like humans do work there, but they have to have been somehow, you've gotten in touch with the occult. Occults have basically welcomed you into their fold and let you in. And like, again, it's not just like, oh, I'm randomly traveling and oh, look at this little club, and you walk in. You don't just randomly walk into this club. So how Wesley was even able to get this job or whatever, I mean, figure out it was there. I mean, whatever. To be fair, an occult recruiter would have had to have found him, to be honest, but whatever. Shh. I didn't think that through totally, but so anyway, especially because he's also gotten a fear of the occult because of this attack. So, after he kind of tells Ambrose is a little hesitant to kind of tell him that he's a vampire. You know what I mean? Because, like, when they're first... Now, here's the weird thing. You think Wesley could have put two and two together, because he's like, how did you end up at this club? It's an occult club. Like, only people who are working with occults, who are invited here or whatever, can do this. Can enter into this club. And, so they have this conversation. And then, of course, when Wesley's like, well, how are you associated with the occult or whatever? And, like, Hammer's like, well, you see, And Ambrose, of course, would tell Wesley his story, like his family was murdered by vampires. So, hey, they have that in common. So, like, high five, vampires kind of suck. But also, by the way, um, so Ambrose is going to tell Wesley, like, about his family's attack and death and everything. But he's going to be like, yeah, but see, the thing about that is, even though we have that in common, possibly, yours could have been vampires, it could have been werewolves, could have been a turf war between the two of them, and you got wrapped up, who knows. Yeah, the thing about that is my family died in, like, 18-something or 17, or what the fuck ever. And, Wesley's like, excuse me? And then, of course, like, Ambrose would have to tell him that he's a vampire. He was turned when he was a teenager. He's been living with vampires and he left them and whatever. And, the whole story and like, so, I mean, like, not all vampires suck, but, I mean, yes, we do. But, like, but not we're evil and we murder people. See, there you go. See, Wesley's just feeling like, you're not supposed to eat, though. Don't eat any food for 6 hours. Oh, but you're hungry. I don't know if you're gonna manage fasting, but it's okay. I know, sweetie. I know. I'm not gonna make you eat, but if you go eat, I'm not gonna stop you. I definitely don't want you dying right now. So, basically, like, when Ambrose reveals that, it's not really easy for Wesley to accept that, but he's kind of okay because he loves Ambrose and he trusts him wholeheartedly. So even though it's a shock and he's like, I don't love this, but I love you, so whatever. You know what I mean? And as you can see, when we started, when Ambrose was thirsty, Wesley will let him drink his blood. Like, he's okay with that because, again, there's just that it's just the deep level of trust between them and everything. So the game better not fuck that up by doing anything weird, is all I'm saying. So the other thing that Ambrose, after all of that, and he's like, well, now that we've got that out of the way, here's the other thing I need to kind of admit to you and tell you. And Wesley's like, oh, dear God, what now? Thinking it's going to be something awful. And Ambrose kind of admits that all those years back when Wesley was near death in that alley, Ambrose is the one that found him and saved him. But he was interrupted when he was trying to save him, and that's why Wesley still has those scars, because he couldn't fully heal him. Oh, good, look at, you did the feast. Oh, thank God, you're so good. So that's something that ties them even more together, is the fact that Ambrose is the one that saved Wesley, and the only reason Wesley is still alive at this point and didn't die in that alley when he was like 19 is the fact that Ambrose saved him. But Ambrose, and also want to put, like, Ambrose has not been following him since then. It's like he saved him and he got interrupted. He had to leave, whatever, from people, like, coming out, whatever, and has never seen Wesley since then. But when he was in that club and he saw Wesley on stage for the first time, he was like, wait a minute. Like, he knew. Because I think something, when Ambrose was saving Wesley, there was some kind of a connection. You can see he's got his scars right there. There was something that just kind of clicked for him with Wesley as he was saving him. Like, it's a weird thing. Like, I don't know what you want to call it, but basically he just knew that there was something special about Wesley, but, like, he's just trying to save someone's life, so he's not really thinking about it until after. And he's like, there was something kind of magical there, but I don't know what's going on, and I really hope he's okay, and I'll probably never see him again, and then they just find each other years later at that club. So there you go. That's their story, and now we've spent an hour talking about this, but now that we've done that, congratulate on marriage! We're the ones that got married. Likes discussing hobbies, yeah. That's the other thing. So you've seen the pictures all the way around. Obviously, we have this over here. This will be where we put Wesley when he dies. This will be a shrine. But right now, this is our wedding shrine. I might have gotten a little obsessive, over their wedding shrine. This is their wedding topper and all their wedding photos and everything like that. I might have gone a little cuckoo bananas taking all these photos because I had Matilda or whatever her name is, yeah, show up to the wedding, take photos of them, and them take photos and everything like that. Um, and then I kept them all because they were all so good. So we have like all the little adorable ones, whatever. Um, so yeah, I might have gotten a little overzealous with the photos, but at the same time, like Ambrose would absolutely have this many pictures of Wesley all over the fucking house. And like I think Wesley enjoys being fawned over like this. But like I said, I've been playing this household for a little bit, so they have bonus traits, they have everything like that. So um where the hell am I going? Ambrose again was romantic, and I think cheerful is something that he was a bonus discovery trait, but you saw he went from originally from romantic to romantically reserved, and now he's back to romantic again. So okay. Genius, music lover, cheerful. He's got all of these other ones: high self-esteem, free. I think I bought him free services, but in shrewd or whatever. Alluring, home turf, domestic, blues group. Oh, sad. I'm gonna get rid of that because you shouldn't have. I want to go into cast though. I don't want you to have that because you shouldn't um have that. You shouldn't have grief because your family should have died 100, 200 years ago. Professional, slacker, savant, beloved, muser. He also was a music lover, jealous, and he was a dance machine, but I changed it to chase by death again because I wanted to make it a little more dynamic, and I was kind of really hoping that I don't want him to die right away, but if something happens and he ends up dead because of this trait, like if it pulls, more accidents and things toward him, that would be okay because like he's got 7 days till he's an adult, and then we'll go through his adult lifespan, his elder, he's gonna die, and I do want to bring him back as a ghost or whatever. We really got to get to fucking work on his soul's journey so that we can I'm assuming, do you get to still work on this after? I don't know. I want him to be able to be reborn because they have um like men and women. Okay, well sure. They're soulmates, they're best friends, they're wholesome, they have amazing compatibility. And I didn't make them that way. They just when I made them, on like obviously like I said, like I had made Wesley before he was in my gallery. I just kind of adjusted him, changed him a little. I just changed some of his outfits and changed his first name. That was it. But Ambrose was born in game, so it's not like I made them together and then did whatever. Like I had them meet. I kind of set up their things, their attraction preferences so they'd be attracted to each other. I was really hoping they'd end up being soulmates because I'm like, I want this to happen because I want them to have that hoping that they will get back together, at the end of days. Like after Wesley's reborn, we'll go in, we'll leave Ambrose to his own devices, we'll have Wesley reborn, and maybe we'll just have him reborn because I think you can choose. I might not do it as an infant. Maybe we'll do it as like a teenager or something, so we skip over some of it because I don't want to be here for 6 years, but. Anyway, so this was a newer outfit. I get not that any of them were new or different, but for you, it doesn't matter. So this is one of his outfits. You can see his scars. He didn't have those in the original version of what I made, but there you go. And there's our beautiful boy. Like he's got his adorable little freckles, and he's precious. He's just lovely. Um, and then his second outfit, I was one of the new life and death things. Originally, I want him to wear, like, there's so many crop tops and things are low, and I'm like, he wouldn't show his stomach because of the scars. But then I was like, I realized that low shirt he kind of does, and then his bathing suit he kind of does. And I was like, you know what? Actually, maybe he's getting more accustomed to it and he's okay with it. I think there was a point in time where he never would have shown his stomach like that. He didn't want to show those scars, but being with Ambrose and being appreciated and everything for everything that he is, he's way more confident now than he ever used to be. Also, can I just say, these fucking boots might be my new fucking favorites. I love them. I like the ones that came with Get Together. They used to be my favorite boots, like just slap on for male Sims, like easy on black boots. But these are way better, and I'm fucking stoked. Anyway, um, as another outfit, and of course, because we got our Reaper reward, we got his, you know, using all the new shit. And this was his original first outfit, so that's why I moved it to fourth. But he already got a job and went, so he goes to work with this hair and everything. So it's like, so that's why we got to suspend our disbelief from that because that was my fault. But anyway, this is obviously one of his formal wear outfits that he had already had when I made him the first time a long time ago. We've got our normal, like, fancy, snazzy dazzy suit. He does not have his wedding suit on anymore. I did take it off. But I did give him this because I love this dress so fucking much. And you guys, I can't tell you how much I want to cry. I'm going to be that asshole who's like, I'm going to cry over a Sims pack. They made everything in cast gender neutral, and my little gay heart is so fucking happy because I love playing with male Sims. That's primarily what I play with. And the fact that they have so many things that are for female Sims that are really kind of nice, and the male Sims are like, eh. And sometimes they have nice things, but sometimes it's like cargo pants, baggy pants, boxy t-shirt, or an oversized sweater, and then the female cast stuff doesn't work on male Sims, even when there's things that aren't super feminine. You're like, that could work on a male Sim, and they don't make it for the male frame. Always makes me mad, and I bitch about it all the time. And this pack, they made every motherfucking thing gender neutral. Finally. Finally! So I am just fucking excited. It's the best thing ever. There's his athletic outfit. We only have one because, like, whatever. I put him in the new sleepwear shirt. We also have our little more, you a little sexy. You want some pizza? You want a piece of his pizza? Sorry. I'm not sorry. This is what we do here. This is one of his party outfits. It's a little, I don't even know what it is, but I love it so much. He already had this one, I think, when I first made him from forever ago, just for funsies, because sometimes I get bored and I just play with Sims and Cass and do this. So I just left it because it's cute. And then we have this one, like, Love Struck one. This is his, like, little hoochie outfit. Like, he looking a little slutty. Like, that's the thing I love about Love Struck. They did a lot of gender neutral, not everything, but a lot of it is also kind of slutty. So it's like, it's not everyday wear for everybody, but it works for this. I did give him the new swimsuit because, again, I was like, you know what? He would totally go wearing that without a wig. I mean, you're not going to wear a wig in the pool, but he'd wear that. But then his other, masculine swimsuit, if he feels like doing that. And he's got, like, all his little roses and tattoos and stuff on his arms. One of his hot weather outfits, and then his other hot weather outfit. And then we have this, we'll go to this. I had given him. He had a different cold weather outfit that had like a sweater and a skirt with this hat and everything. It was basically this, but I just, it was a sweater and a skirt. But I love this fucking male suit so goddamn much. Guys, every fucking color. Look at this purple one. Every fucking one of these. This is my new favorite male. Leslie is wearing my favorite female cast asset, which is that fucking dress with the feathers, and my favorite male one. I love this so fucking much. I love it so goddamn much. I can't even tell you I want to lose my shit. I just love it. It's goddamn amazing. I would love to see a version without the jacket on too, but like, God, this is so amazing. Anyway, so then we have Ambrose. Again, he's a vampire. I'm gonna unlink that so we don't lose. You know what I mean? And again, he was born in game. He's got such an interesting little nose. Born in game. I think I don't remember where I got his mother from. I mean, I made her, but I don't remember if I had her in my gallery or if I just kind of quickly made her. Like, whatever. And Edmund, I think, was a sim that I also had just made, and I just changed him up a little, put them in old-fashioned clothing, and then, obviously, I made them try for baby. And I was gonna, like, feel like I need them to have a son, and I went in and they were having twins, and I was like, all right, we're working with it. So I love this fucking vest, too. Oh, my God. The cast in this pack was really great. So I gave him that one because that was new. This is one of his other outfits. He's just a little more relaxed and stuff like that. And then we have this one. Because again, I love those boots and I love this vest. I get more vests. God damn, I love the fucking vest. I do like the pattern on this shirt, but it's just a square. I wish it was a little more form fitted or something, you know? This is his formal outfit. He had his wedding attire, but I did take that off. Actually, no, this wasn't your wedding attire. But I didn't give him another formal outfit. So, we've got our athletic. He's got roses too, so isn't that kismet? And then here we go with just one casual sleep outfit. And then we have this one. And you'll notice this little bracelet that he's got on if he stops moving like an asshole, the asshole that he is. It looks like it's like twine or whatever. And I kind of just in my head think that it is. I had to take it off on some because it clips through the outfits, but he wears it all the time, theoretically. We're just going to pretend for story purposes because it is something that he and his brother made together. And that's like, and like their little friendship bracelets, like back in the ancient days with like hempy twine or whatever. So that's something that he's had from his brother for like hundreds of years. So he won't ever get rid of it. And like, obviously, if it starts to fray, he kind of fixes it and whatever. But so technically, at this point in time, is it really the same, bracelet that it used to be? Maybe not, but it's his memento of his brother. So and then there's one party wear outfit. We've got our second one because also this freaking top. When I saw this in the here's the list of cast stuff and they showed it on like the female frame, I was like, I need that. There were like three things. This, one of the other tops, and that dress, and I was like, I just need those. If those things look good on male Sims, I'll be okay. Everything looks good. Oh my god, guys, I'm so much happier because I wouldn't have bbeen okay, but I would have been like, is there? I mean, I said, and then when I went and when I was watching cast overviews, and this was the first thing that pops up, I'm like, yes. But look at this slutty little thing. Look at you. That would look good on female Sims too, because you're like, God damn, look at your tit window. But look at his tit window. Good about that. We have our bathing suit. Again, he just has one. But we've got some tattoos and stuff you can see. Hell yeah, that goes all the way around. Yeah, it does. And then we have one hot weather outfit. He's got his other hot weather outfit. I think this one you were supposed to have your hair up, but it keeps fucking resetting your hair on every fucking outfit. Also, your makeup should not have been like this on this outfit either, I don't think. It did that because, yeah. It did that because I was trying to change something on his, vampire outfit, his vampire form, and it fucked up the hair on these, and I was like, son of a bitch. So, whatever. So we have one cold weather outfit, and then we have our other cold weather outfit and stuff like that. And then his vampire form, his dark form, I used one of the ghost outfits. It's like they have the raggedy bottoms, but I was like, you know what though? It's fine. It's fine. So he's basically, I love some of these, but like, and I don't even mind the raggedy cuffs. It's just the raggedy pants. But I think if you had boots that maybe went up over it, I wouldn't notice it as much or whatever. But, so he's just got a top hat on that one. But I think this is mostly, except for, okay, so I use the new swimsuit as his athletic in case he's ever in his dark form. We use the new robe. That's hot. But all of his outfits, aside from like swimwear and stuff, are just that for his like vampire form and whatnot. Because like, whatever. Originally, his vampire form looked kind of like that, except for all of his outfits were the same as his human form. But then I was like, well, maybe his dark form is still a little tethered to the old-fashioned time. And that kind of looks a little old-fashioned-y. And there's some little wrinkles. And, like, so maybe he's got some, like, vampire issues going on. I don't know. But anyway, we've been here for over an hour. I appreciate your patience in holding with me on this first part. But now we've gotten our whole backstory. You know kind of what we're doing here. We can actually get into gameplay next time. And, I wonder if I should probably go in and change his work outfit and put his regular hair on and whatnot so that even the makeup can stay, but like the hair it's just not working for me with that outfit. But anyway, it's just because that's what he was wearing when he first got his job and went to work, so now he looks silly. And we should probably also put our... Well, wait a minute. Now our other duplicate we had 2 Edmund tombstones, and now the other one's missing. I can never figure out what the fuck the front door is in here. Well, that's interesting. Maybe okay. I mean, they're still dead, right? You, wait, where's my relationships? Okay, they're still dead, right? Your dad didn't come back to life. Why is Edmund Bonehilda? Why is he Bonehilda now? Oh, sweet fucking Jesus. I don't know. You know what? It's whatever. Whatever. He's not alive anymore, but now he's Bonehilda. Is that supposed to happen? Is that like, is there a festival or something that like your ghost can go and dress up like Bonehilda? Somebody let me know. I don't, oh my God. Anyway, all that matters is that they're dead. They're not going to come back. So even if their ghosts aren't there, it's fine. I just had the tombstones in our inventory because I was going to throw them in the graveyard and I kind of forgot to do that and set that up, but like, not a big deal. Anyway, we could probably set them up outside our house. Do we have, oh, we could do this out here. Oh, okay, we can put them out here and get rid of like some of the debug kind of ones. You know? Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah, so we can pretend we buried our family here. Well, it would just be their urns, you know what I mean? Or like tombstones for them, even though their bodies wouldn't be there, because like they died 100. That's why I was going to put them in a graveyard. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I will see you guys next time. We'll have another part of this on Saturday. So, and then this will normally go up on Wednesdays, but I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.